Today we are going to fix a notorious leak on these motors. The rear cam tower gasket, it's just like a paper gasket that starts leaking. Insert picture here of the leak. Basically what happens is it starts leaking down here, it goes under your exhaust, and you smell burning oil. And you don't like to smell burning oil, and you also don't like to lose oil on a long road trip. So we're gonna see if we can't get at that. There's about 3 10 millimeters, and this one was finger tight. So that was an easy one to pop off. We'll tackle, let's see if this other one's about finger tight as well. That one was maybe 2 fingers tight. All right, third one's a charm. That one was also about finger tight. Now they are small bolts, so I'm not surprised that they're fairly easy to crack free, but goodness me, oh my, would I expect those to be tighter than what they were. But hey, this car's 40 years old, so it's had a lot of time to just shake things loose.
Especially when, you know, it was running on 3 cylinders. It, like, tipping right away, just misfiring.
Started out
vibration
in our hands with about 3 cylinders. And then also, someone being me, did not put the balance shaft sprockets on correctly. So that also made quite the vibration when running.
Not to say that that caused these to back out, but
it wouldn't help. I tell you, it wouldn't help. All right, so I've got one out. There's a washer on there. It looks like an M8 bolt by 30 millimeters with a 10 millimeter head on it. We'll get the second of 3 out of here shortly. And my gosh, is there just a ton of oil back here, which is great because oil is a great rust inhibitor. And you know what they say about rust? We don't want any of it.
the lighting makes this look just like you're gonna murder someone later tonight. Or
it's not out of question.
Well, if I go missing,
that'd be too obvious.
If Bryn goes missing,
oh, quite the challenge. 3. Now, is that enough? That gets this guy off. Let's make sure we know how that goes back on. Maybe we'll clean that up. Is there a 4th one anywhere?
No, not that I see.
Now, how do I pop it free of the old
zip recruiter?
It's easier said than done, folks. I'm gonna see if I can't get a flathead on that edge.
You know, that seems pretty on there. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have the camera on, but as you can see,
quite a little extra.
Cover's no longer there, and in fact, it's down there on the ground. So, used a pry bar. There's one little lip that you were able to get the pry bar on, and then you pry. That one looks a little old. Maybe get a razor blade, because it doesn't seem to be.
Doesn't really want to come off in one piece, does it? How Kyle loses his thumb.
Cut away from yourself, children.
It's so much easier to cut towards yourself.
If we have any finger removal, I want to be sure to capture it on film.
Yeah. People love a good restoration, though. There's an edge on here that's pretty sharp.
That's probably where I had the old pry bar.
Cool thing about these old Porsches is they put the part number right on the part. Those kind of expenses just aren't spent anymore on modern cars.
Almost every part on my car has a part number on it.
Really?
I mean, in my experience. Rear cam cover with hoisting bracket. M6 bolts. It says 8 Newton meters.
Alright, so we have cleaned up both surfaces and we are putting our cam tower in with a new rear cam cover with a new cork cam cover gasket. And I tell you what, this thing better not leak any more oil or else I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
Even more than he already does.
Even more than I already do. Because I drive a Miata to work.
Shouldn't induce tears, should it?
No, I'm just kidding. I smile every day as I bang the car off of the rev limiter and flat shift, shearing 2nd and 3rd gear to pulp.
Insert footage of the...
You know, this one is easier to replace than the rear cam cover on the Miata, there's a lot more space. You don't have to fight a big O-ring.
Even though this is the world's biggest 4-cylinder engine.
You know, they gave you space for it. There is an absolute spider web of vacuum lines everywhere that I should probably address at some point before my journey to Idaho. Will I address them?
Probably not.
Stay tuned.
Will you bring a bunch of extra hose?
Probably. Will it all be the right size? Probably not.
Just bring some adjustable clamps.
Probably. Where did that torque? 8 Newton meters.
8 NMs.
I'm gonna try to torque this nice and evenly so that no one side gets pinched before this surface gets sandwiched evenly. There was our 8 NMs. You know, I bet that old gasket was torqued appropriately and then the gasket just shriveled up and died. And so those bolts were no longer torqued against the face. They were just torqued against air.
Well, they weren't torqued.
Therefore, they were no longer torqued. As you can see, they are now
You know what's wild to me?
torqued.
That those M6 bolts are supposed to be an engine hoist
Right?
mount.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, their shear strength is going to be a lot more than
Right.
what you torque them to. But that is still impressive.
It's 3 M6 bolts.
That'll hold 50% of the motor. I mean, you look at this plate too, and that's not very big.
Don't stand underneath it.
But magic, the magic of tensile strength.